Good morning to all. Myself, Professor Nidhi Joshi. I am discussing about the subject image processing and computer vision. The subject code for this subject is CS803, and in that my agenda for today lecture is to discuss is to revise unit 3rd. The name of the 3rd unit is the revision analysis. Basically in this unit we'll discuss like what is the region based segmentation, edge, automatic thresholding, like all those, like many more topics that we are going to cover in this unit. So let us start with the region. What do you mean by the region? So if I am talking about the region in an image, basically it is the group of the connected pixels. The pixels are connected, but these pixels are having the similar property, they are having the same common property. The region are important for the interpretation of image because they may correspond, they may represent certain objects which are there in the image. An image may contain several objects, and in turn each object may contain several regions corresponding to the different part of the object. So like for the image, like if we are going for the correctly interpretation of the image, accurately interpreting the image, it must be partitioned, the image must be partitioned into the region that will be representing the object or the parts of the object, as well as like however due to the segmentation error, the correspondence between the region and the object will not be perfect, as we all know that the certain amount of the noise is present in the image. So with the presence of the image in the region, with the after like the error is there in the image, and as well as we are doing the segmentation, like dividing the image into small parts. Like somewhat the segmentation error is also present in the image. So like will not get the sharp or the crystal clear difference between the region and object at some point. So however due to the segmentation error, the correspondence between the region and the object will not be perfect, and the object specific knowledge must be used in the later stage for the image interpretation. The object specific knowledge, like the certain labels that are being associated to the object, so that time we have to use a certain object specific knowledge. Like basically if it's like resembling the shape of some like the container, the glass, so particularly if we are talking about the place where we have done the segmentation, so that time a little bit the object specific knowledge that we have to use for the clear interpretation of image which is there in the image. So let us consider this example. If I am talking about this image, like it's showing this, like some place where certain toys are kept over the place. So like if I am seeing if I am closely looking this image, like it's representing the this one object, second object, third, fourth and fifth object. So yes, we had considered the previous example. The figure contained the several objects, 1 2 3 4 5 several object is there. The first step in the analysis and understanding of this image is to partition the image so that region representing the different object and are marked explicitly. Like we are partitioning this image so that we can easily identify, we'll try to identify like what are objects which are there in the image. So what we are doing, we are partitioning, we are dividing this image into certain parts. Such partition may be obtained from the characteristics of the gray value of the pixel in the image. Like how we can interpret, we can partition on the basis of the gray value of the pixels in the image. Pixel gray value at specific indices in the image array are the observation, and all other attributes such as the region membership must be derived from the gray value. This partitioning, like what common approach we can apply, like we can partition on the basis of the gray value of the pixels in the image, so that we can say like this part belongs to the region 1. Like if it's not having the gray value, we can say like if the white part, we can say that this part belongs to some other region, some region 2, region 3. So on that basis we are trying to partition the portions in the image, so that we can easily identify, we can try to find out the picture, what the picture is saying, what type of objects which are there in the image. So what all approach that we can use for the partitioning an image into region? First approach that we are using is the region based segmentation. Second one is the boundary estimation using the edge detection. Two approach generally we are using. First one is the region based segmentation, and second one is the boundary estimation using the edge detection. So let us start with the region based segmentation. So all the pixel that corresponds to the objects are grouped together and are marked to indicate that they belongs to one region. जो भी pixels रहते हैं that belongs to, that is specifying the objects, they are clubbed together and are marked maybe like it's belonging to the one region. So this process is called the segmentation. Particularly like the pixels which are having the same type of the property, the same characteristics, they are marked as the same region. This process is called the segmentation. The pixels are assigned to region using some criteria that distinguish them from the rest of the image. Region based segmentation, like for the region based segmentation, two important principles in the segmentations are, first one is the value similarity and second one is the spatial proximity. So how we can say that the two pixels, they are of the same type? How we can make such type of assumption? So the two pixel may be assigned to the same region if they have the similar intensity characteristics, or if they are close to another. Like basically if they are having the similar intensity characteristics, then we can say that this two pixels belongs to the same category, belongs to the same region only. So first we are looking for the value similarity, and second one is we are looking for the spatial proximity. Second one is the principle of the similarity and the proximity come from the assumption that the point on the same object will project to pixel in the image that are especially close and have similar gray value. So second one is we are having what is an edge. The segmentation can be done by finding the pixel that lie on the region boundary. This are called the edge. So if I am talking about like if I am considering this image, like basically this slide is some image and the edge is representing this. Like you are seeing like one more slide after this. So this is representing the edge. So segmentation can also be done by finding the pixel that light on the region boundary. This is the region boundary of this image. This is the region boundary. So this pixels are called the edge and can be found by looking at the neighboring pixel. Like if I am here, what I am doing, I am comparing this or this pixel value. Let me consider one more example. This is an edge. Like here the slide number is there, and this is one region. If I am comparing the pixel of this place and this place, so they are having the different intensity value. So this pixel, this neighboring pixel, this is like the tedious job. This what we are doing, we are saying like this belongs, this is the region 1, this is the region 2. So we can say that the pixels, we are comparing both this pixel and like determining basically the pixel belongs to the region 1 or the region 2. Since edge pixel are on the boundary and the region on either side of the boundary may have the different gray value, a region boundary may be found by measuring the difference between the neighboring pixel. Here what we are doing, we are comparing it with the neighboring pixel only. and most edge detector use only the intensity characteristics as the basis for the edge detector, although derived characteristics such as the texture, motion may be used. It's like depending upon the application, for which application we are using, but generally we are using the intensity characteristics. That will like in the maximum case, that will resolve the problem. So in ideal image, a region will be bounded by a close contour. In principle, the region segmentation and edge detection should yield the identical result. Like both these approaches that we are using, is the region detection and the boundary estimation using the edge detection. Like both this approach should give approximately 10%, 100% exact result only, identical result. On the same result, or it's better to say the identical results only. So edge or the close contour may be obtained from by region using the boundary following algorithm. Likewise, the region may be obtained from edge using the region filling algorithm. Unfortunately, in real image, it is rare to obtain the correct edge from the region and vice versa. Due to noise and other factors, neither the region segmentation nor edge detector provide the perfect information. So let us discuss more thing about the region segmentation. We are having a set of the image, that is I and the homogeneity predicate, and we are segmenting the image S of the image I into a set of n region. It's given by this. The homogeneity predicate and partitioning of the image may have the property that any region satisfy the predicate, whether it's of the same region. If it's true, then we are going to merge into a single region, otherwise we are not merging both the region segmentation. And next is the automatic thresholding. To make the segmentation process more robust, the threshold must be automatically selected by the system. Knowing about the object in the scene and the environment should be used in the segmentation algorithm in a far more general than a fixed threshold value. Such knowledge may include the intensity characteristics of the object, size of the object, different of the object which are there in the image, fraction of the image occupied by the image. The value of the thresholding should be automatically selected by the system. A thresholding scheme that use such knowledge and select a proper threshold value for each image without the human intervention is called the automatic thresholding scheme. The automatic thresholding analyze the gray value distribution in image, usually by using the histogram of gray value, and use the knowledge about the application to select the most appropriate threshold.
So we were discussing about the automatic thresholding. To make the segmentation more robust, the threshold should be automatically selected by the system and should include this many knowledge, like the intensity, size of the object, the fraction of the image occupied by the object, the number of the different type of the objects, like all those things. So a thresholding scheme that uses such knowledge and select the proper threshold value for each image without the human intervention is called the automatic thresholding scheme. So many automatic thresholding scheme has been used in the different application. To simplify the presentation, we follow the convention that the object are dark against the light object. So generally we are finding like the object which are dark against the light background. So in discussing the threshold, this will allow us that the gray value below a certain threshold value belongs to the object. We are using certain kind of the reference, like particularly if the threshold value is belongs to this much value, then it will be belongs to the object, and the gray value above the threshold are from the background. So the algorithm that we have presented in the following section can be easily modified to handle such other case, such as the light object against the dark background, medium gray object with the with the background values that are light and dark, or the object with both the light and the dark gray value against the medium gray background. Like certain algorithm, certain approach that we are using for the automatic thresholding, we are either using the p-tile method, mode method, iterative threshold selection method, adaptive thresholding, variable thresholding, and the double thresholding. Basically, the purpose of using the automatic thresholding is to make this segmentation process more robust, will get an accurate result out of it. So let us first see what is a p-tile method. Quickly revise what is a p-tile method. The p-tile method uses the knowledge about the area or the size of the desired object to threshold an image. Suppose that in a given application of application image, the object occupies the p percentage of the image area. So like we are having the object is there, the p percentage is there in the image. So with this knowledge, uh, uh, we are partitioning the gray value histogram of the input image. One or more threshold can be chosen that assign p percentage of pixel to the object. So the p percentage of the image is used in the image. So this method is of very limited use. Only a few applications such as the page readers allows an estimate of the area in the general case. That is like the area where we are using the p-tile method. The second automatic thresholding technique is the mode method. If the object in the image have the same gray value, the background has a different gray. Like if the object is having the same gray value and the background has a different gray value, then the image pixel are affected by the zero mean Gaussian noise. Then we have assumed the gray values are drawn from the two normal distribution with the parameter, that is the mu1 and the rho1 and mu2 and rho2. Rho2. The histogram for an image will then show the two separate peaks. So in the ideal case of the constant intensity, that is the rho1 and rho2 is equals to 0, then there will be the two spikes in the histogram and the threshold can be placed anywhere between the spikes. So in this case, we are detecting the peaks and the valleys which are there in the histogram. The graph that we have considered, and we are finding the peaks and the valleys in the histogram, and the threshold may be set to the pixel value corresponds to the valley. The determination of the peaks and valleys is a non-trivial problem, and many methods has been proposed in order to solve it. For the automatic thresholding, we have a measure of the peakiness and the valleyness of the point in the histogram. We are finding the peak of the histogram of the graph, and the like this is the valley, this is the peak, and this is the valley. The peakiness and the valleyness in the histogram. So for the peakiness detection for the appropriate threshold selection, the algorithm is like this. We are finding the two highest local maxima in the histogram that are at the same minimum distance apart. Suppose this occur at the gray value, that is the GI and the GA. After that, we are finding the lowest point, that is GK in the histogram H between GI and the GJ, and finding the peakiness, that is defined by the minimum is given by this equation, and using the combination GI, GJ, GK with the highest peakiness to threshold the image. The value GK is a good threshold to separate the object corresponding to GI and the GJ. And next we are having the peakiness detection for the approximate, like the same algorithm that we are using. The peakiness detection, like certain algorithm, certain approach for finding the appropriate threshold detection, like this algorithm that we are going to use. Next we are having next approach is the iterative thresholding. Before that, we had skipped one thresholding, that is the adaptive thresholding. First one was the p-tile method, second was the mode method, third one is the iterative threshold selecting, and fourth is the adaptive threshold selecting. So before studying the iterative, let us first see the adaptive thresholding. Yes, that first we'll see the iterative threshold selection. An iterative threshold selection method start with an approximate threshold and then successively refine this estimate we are like refining this estimate. Like after each iteration, it is expected that some property of sub image resulting from the threshold can be used to select the new threshold value that will partition partition the image better than the first threshold value. We are like after the each iteration we are like successively closing the correct or the accurate threshold value that we are going to find. The threshold modification scheme is critical to the success of this approach. The algorithm is like this: we are selecting an estimate of the threshold. A good initial value is the average of the image. After that, we are partitioning the image into two groups, R1 and R2, using the threshold, calculating the mean gray value of the partition, selecting a new threshold value, and repeating like after each and every iteration. Next we are having the adaptive thresholding. So like generally in the image, like the illumination problem in the image, if the illumination problem is uneven, then the above automatic thresholding scheme that cannot be used. The uneven illumination may be due to the shadow or due to the direction of the illumination. In all such cases, the same threshold values may not be useful throughout the complete image. So for this reason, we are using the adaptive thresholding technique we are going to use. Like particularly if I am talking about this image here, like at some point the illumination is some light, some dark, some kind of thing. Like consider this example: the illumination here, this part, basically it is some rectangle or the quadrilateral is there. The illumination in the upper part is dark, it's light. So if this thing is not clear, that time we are using the adaptive thresholding. So method to deal with the uneven illumination or uneven distribution of the gray values in the background should look at the small region of an image and then analyze the sub image to obtain the threshold for only that sub image. Like the approach that we are going, a straightforward approach to segment such image is to partition the image into m cross m sub image and select a threshold that is t of I of j for each sub image based on the histogram of the ijth sub image. The final segmentation of the image is the union of the region of its sub image. And the next approach, the fifth approach that we are using, is the variable thresholding. So variable thresholding is another useful technique in the case of the uneven illumination, is to approximate the intensity value of the image by a simple function, such as either we are considering the plane or the bi-quadratic equation. The function value we are finding and the function fit is determined in the large part by the gray value of the background. Histogramming and thresholding can be done relative to the base level determined by the fitted function. So this technique is called the background normalization. So like we are finding the function, and that function we are going to fit. Next we are having the last technique that we are using is the double thresholding. In many applications it is known that the certain gray value belongs to the object. However, there may be the additional gray value that belongs to either object or the background. In such a case, one may use a conservative threshold, that is Ti, to obtain the core of the object and then use some method to grow the object region. Like this method used for growing this region will depend on the specific application. Like the certain threshold value for the core object, and after that we are growing the object. So let us see, like we have selected the two threshold, that is T1 and T2, partitioning the image into the three region, that is the R1, R2 and R3. Like into three region, that is the R1, like the R1 that contain all the pixel. So we are partitioning the image into three regions, that is the R1 that contain all the pixel with the gray values below the T1, that is the threshold value. R2 containing all the pixel with the gray values between the T1 and T2, and the R3 all the pixel with the gray values above the T2. So after that, what we are doing, we are visiting the each pixel assigned to the region R2. If all the pixel has a neighbor in the region R1, then we reassign Then we reassign the pixel to the region R1, repeating all these steps until the no pixels are reassigned. So we are reassigning any pixel left in the region R2 to region R3. So in that way, this approach that we are following in for the double thresholding. So we are using the histogram method also. The histogram method is having certain limitation. The histogram method is useful in those application where object have the constant gray value. If the illumination is different in the different part of the scene, then the single threshold may not be sufficient to segment the image, even if the image contain only one object. So only one may use the information in the histogram of the image to select an appropriate threshold for the segmentation. So that's why we are using this different type of the thresholding approach. Next we'll be discussing about the region representation. The regions are used in many contexts and can be represented in the different alternative form. Different representation are suitable in the different application. Some application requires the computation requires the single region, while other requires the different reason we are considering, and what is the relationship between among this different reason. So on that basis, the most region representation is classified into the three classes. First one is the array representation, second one is the hierarchical representation, and third one is the symbolic representation. So let us first see what is an array representation. The basic representation for the region is to use an array of the same size as of the original, with the entries that indicate the region to which a pixel belongs. So if we are having the element I and j of the array that is having the value a, then corresponding pixel in the image belongs to the region A. So the array representation uses the membership array image, commonly called the mask or the bitmaps. Each region is associated with the binary image. It marks the indicate which pixel belongs to that region. Yes, the array representation, the second type of the representation is the hierarchical representation. We are representing it in the form of the node and the child, like the parent and the child relationship, and the symbolical relationship is expressed in the words. Basically we are trying to showing the relationship between the specifying, first of all we are specifying the region and what are the relationship between those regions. Next, we are having the face recognition. The face recognition, it's one of the most successful application for the image uh, analysis, that has gained the significant attention. It is due to the availability of the face technology along the mobile solution. Still the research is there for the automatic face detection that has been conducted since 1960. The problem still is there, as soon as if the person face is there, that it should interpret by applying it should interpret the face correctly. It should correctly identify the person. So if I'm talking about the face recognition system, it includes the image face detection, face normalization, feature extraction, DB based face matching, and the face ID. So the face recognition system, it's carried out by finding the local representation of the facial appearance at each of the anchor point. The representation scheme depend on the approach. In order to deal with such complication, find out the true invariant for recognition, researchers have developed the various recognizing algorithm. The general work, we are matching the pattern, if the pattern is matched, then the purpose is solved. So here we are looking for the different parameters, the specific parameters, and we are trying to find out what both the objects are same or not. So the general framework that we are using, we are matching the pattern that can be very small, they can be represent the whole object of interest. The insert the matching may be invariance through the image transform. Matching criteria, certain matching criteria that we are going to use. Control strategies also we are going to use. We are checking all the positions of the image. So that's the there like with the face recognition system. That's all is there in with the third unit. In case if you are having any problem, let me know. Thank you.